Okay, so we're live. I just put the link in the stream if Archer's there. If Miss Martin is there, I see she was here early. So, second time in the month, been able to stream.
That's great.
I have to go. I was telling Ian before we went live, I had to go a little bit earlier today because I have a thing coming up in 2 hours where I'm getting together with one of our teacher coaches and going to enjoy a smoke.
Oh, right on.
Yep. So, no, I'm just coming off my priest retreat, which was this week. So I enjoyed a few on that, which was fun. About the only fun thing of it this week. It's one of those priest retreats where you feel like you should get 3 credit hours afterwards.
Oh, lots. That's okay. So that doesn't sound relaxing. It sounds like it was a lot of homework involved.
No, not really. It's basically 2 talks a day. You have mass, you have time to pray, you have time to relax. Okay. 2 weeks ago, we had what's called a priest convocation, where all the priests of the diocese gathered at a hotel for a few days of just brotherhood, and that was fun. Nice. So, but it's been a while. Archer was here with me last week, but I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Yeah,
that's true. Colin, I haven't seen you since 1743. It's been that long since I've seen you.
That's all right. I'm going back to 1346 again tomorrow. I'm back to 1346 this evening.
What you guys been watching then? Dare I ask?
I'm okay. So I this is a good and a bad. I'm going to give you the good first, then I'm going to give you the bad. So I finally, because it's finally on Netflix, got to watch Godzilla -1. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it far more than I thought I was going to. Hey man of war. I'm not a Godzilla guy. It's not my bag, baby. But I did enjoy the story of the pilot and Japan and all the aftermath of the war. I thought that was very well done. It's like a nice draw, post-war drama with a Godzilla in it. So I thought that was really good. Yeah. And then there's the bad. We're reviewing The Acolyte over on
God.
And
dear.
I think it's important to talk about the bad shows because these we've done the same with Doctor Who, all the other things. Why do we talk about shows that are not good? We talk about them because they once were good. We're not talking about a franchise that's always been terrible and is continuing to be terrible. We're talking about the once great Star Wars, which it's like a hobo on the street, begging for quarters right now. It's not good, and it's bad for a myriad of reasons. It's not just bad for like a reason. There's one good actor, Lee Jung-jae, who plays
Squid Game,
one of the Jedi Masters. He's the only dude on the show who seems to be even trying to pull his weight as far as the acting goes.
I heard that he learned English for it.
That's what I heard as well, and it's
it's something because Roman mentioned bums.
Oh dear.
As mentioned it last week on this stream. Simulator.
My God.
It's not good.
That's horrible. I can go downtown and see that. I don't need a game. I can. That's downtown.
I mean, what I don't understand, right, is these people. I say these people, it sounds really rude, but the people that make these shows, they know it's flopping, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And they lie about it. They lie about the ratings. They lie about everything. So don't they feel that they are lying about something? Don't they feel like it? Don't they feel sad that they're lying about something that they want to push? I mean, let's face it, right? If you're lying about something that you're pushing, then the thing that you're pushing is not right. It can't be right if you have to lie about it. So I don't understand their logic here. Don't they feel bad that nobody's watching the show?
No, because because shame is a 5-letter word that's not in their dictionary.
No, and remember, their goal is not to make money. Their goal is to destroy. It's not even necessarily about getting the message out anymore. Because it's out. The message is out. That jug is broken. The Rubicon is crossed. But they want to destroy our beloved modern franchises. They don't want us to have these things. Yes, you can go back to past and watch them. I get it, but it's a tainted thing at that point.
I think
Yeah,
it's
but
more insidious than that.
There's so much to discover from the old times, because right now, as I was telling Archer last week, I've been watching Jonathan Creek for the first time.
Oh, that's
I'm
okay.
about 4.5 seasons into it right now, getting close to the end, but I've been enjoying it.
But what I think it is, right? I think it's more insidious than what Roman said. Basically, what they want to do is they want to groom the next generation to believe in what they are putting out now. Hence, why they're attacking social media and the things that we love, like pop culture. That's what they're doing. They're aiming for the young, so that their future could be this weird, stupid, illogical thing that they believe in.
You know, I can't even argue that point with you, Ian, because I think you're right, and I say that because young people who are not raised on the original trilogy or even the prequels, but who only know new Star Wars, don't like old Star Wars. They like the new stuff for whatever reasons. I cannot give you those reasons, but maybe the aesthetic of it is flashier, brighter, shinier in the age of people raised on phones and iPads. The old stuff doesn't have the same appeal to them. I mean, for us, yes, it's the classic, it's the gold standard. But for the modern audience, I think, and so you're right. Yeah, it's a lure. They're luring them into. You're right.
I don't think it's working though somehow. Sorry, Archer, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I can explain partly, Roman, why they like it. I was just watching earlier on today. Stan Fine dropped a review of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. One of the last things he said was there's so many different versions of it. You get Hitchhiker's Guide fans argue which is they think is the best and the most canon one for them. And coincidentally, it happened. 95% of the time, it's the first one they watched. I think that's what's happening here to a degree. If the first thing you watched is Disney Star Wars, that's what Star Wars is for you. If the first thing you watch, I won't say anything about that, is Jodie or Shooty Doctor Who, that's what Doctor Who is for you. It's the first that you come across.
Yeah, but my nieces, right, they're young and they don't even like Doctor Who or Star Wars, this new iteration. Thing is, they haven't watched the old ones, so one day I'm going to make them sit down to watch it. I just like to point out, right, the main reason why I'm not watching Doctor Who's got nothing to do with how bad it is. It's all to do with the moral aspect, right? You have the lead guy who is a racist, who's basically blurted out racist things to white people. Then you have the production crew that includes Russell T Davies, who's trying to groom kids. Morally speaking, I cannot watch this show anymore because of that main fact. And a lot of people seem to ignore that for some reason. They always go for the show. Oh, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. No, you should not be watching it because of the moral aspect.
I hate to admit it, but I find
anything inside of you.
Sorry, this helps.
Don't be communing whiskey, I trust, Father.
No.
What do you think, Father? What do you think of the? I hate to ask. What do you
think
I
agree. I just been watching it just for. Again, the drink helps. But it's the thing I've noticed. I've watched 2 complete episodes so far, and he's always crying. I mean, I watched Boom, where he's on like a landmine for the whole thing, and you see tears coming down. Then this last episode, it's like all white people are racist because the doctor doesn't look like them. And he's crying because they're rejecting him. He wants to save them, and it's just. I think it's funny because they lost, what was it, 500,000 viewers?
Yeah.
I was watching. I think it was on. I think it was one of the real BBC was talking to Mauler about the cope for the figures. I said how great the figures were. Yeah. So what you're actually saying is that the episode which had by far the most views was the one which had the Doctor in it for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Does that not tell you anything?
They're just
And
spiteful.
I will say I do like Ruby, the character. I mean, I don't know much of her backstory. I don't really care, but I mean, as a companion, she seems to be good. But speaking of which, I'll put it in the private chat. I'll let you guys decide if you want to talk about it.
You know what I watched recently, and I thought was a really good film, Ford versus Ferrari. I never saw it in the
that
cinema.
is a great film.
I caught it on Netflix. I thought
that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Really good performances by all. Oh right, okay. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I can guess, but Roman just
take a look at it.
The
Roman, did you see it at all?
Oh yeah, you can see it from orbit. I don't even need to.
Oh, yeah. The Squid Game guy in the Acolyte, is that the chap that apparently said he was desperate to be in a Disney
Star Wars? Yeah, he was desperate to be in Star Wars.
This is the guy who helped launch thousands of memes by having these kids stick around saying,
Yeah.
no,
Again,
I can prove. No. I know she's dead. She's definitely dead. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah. Well, look,
yeah.
Do you know what these shows are abomination? Do you know what I mean? It really is, and that's the thing. You see, I've not watched an episode of this latest Doctor Who thing because of what I said.
Anything.
I
made it through like 3 minutes of the first episode, and I turned it off after Space Jesus healed a butterfly.
I said to the father last week, the last Doctor Who episode I actually watched was, I always get it confused because I could get it confused with James Bond, was Spyfall Part 2. I've seen the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, and that's the only Disney Star Wars I've seen. I've followed a lot of the discussions about them, which does make me think, hold on a second, am I being hypocritical or not? But as you said, Roman, you've got to talk about and put how naff it is. That's the only thing, but there's so much to talk about them. They do seem, it's Star Wars, it's Doctor Who, it's Star Trek, whatever, in name only these days. I think it really is.
No, I very much agree with you on that.
I mean, so I used to say, I used to use the phrase woke parasite, because a parasite needs something strong to grow onto to suck the life out of to survive. Yeah.
Well, if we all vote with our wallets, they should go away. But they seem to be really spiteful. They don't care if they're destroying something beloved.
Well, it's kind of hard to do that when the government funds your broadcasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, we are fighting. Again, I would say my hat always goes off to people like Drinker and Gary, because they're on the front line. And, I basically wouldn't do it, but they seem to be brave enough to do it because, people, criticize them and stuff like that. But they're the only ones that are fighting. Not the only ones, sorry. They're the ones in the front line. But what I'm saying is that I think that's important. That's why I'll always support people like them, because I believe this is really important. A lot of people don't realize how important this is. Do you want the next generation of people to be absolutely crazy? Do you know? You're talking about your grandchildren, your cousin, my nieces and stuff like that. I don't want them to live in that world. Therefore, I have to step back from this crap. I really do. So.
Well, on a bright note, I reached out to one of our teachers last night. I'm thinking of starting a sci-fi book club at high school this fall.
Oh, nice.
Because I asked a few of my kids if they read Fahrenheit 451. No. So I'm thinking Fahrenheit 451, 1984, Brave New World.
Starship Troopers.
Never read it.
Yeah, all those ones you mentioned is happening today, Father.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because they would say, because of my beliefs, I would be the one enforcing 1984, but
in fact,
it's that time of the month again, or that time of the year again, where we celebrate a certain deadly sin. And
yeah. In fact, I would also say if you want to engage them in thoughtful discussions about politics, Starship Troopers and The Moon is a Harsh Mistress.
Yeah, I'll show you. Grab.
Because the moon is a harsh mystery. The moon is a harsh mistress. Is basically the American Revolution on the moon, but they very cleverly work in some different. Is that Le Guin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I recognise the title.
Yeah, I read it for the first time last year, and I was blown away by it.
Well, she's one of the authors I was thinking recently. It occurs to me that all these things that are currently infesting our sci-fi fantasy, sci-fi fantasy is the ideal place to actually discuss the things they want to discuss sensibly. I believe one of Ursula Le Guin's early books was about features a race which literally, as part of their evolution development, they swap gender. If I remember right, they start off as male. When they basically they procreate, and then they swap gender and procreate from the other side, and that's their rate that race works. I can think of one or two science fiction races which have got 3 genders, and it's worked out properly. Science fiction is a place you can discuss these things without, if you've got the brains, without slamming people in the head with it.
I'll bring it up. So I'm trying to decide which version I'm going to go with. Oopsie.
Starship Troopers or Starship Troopers?
No, sorry. I just boxed myself on that, but no, they got a few versions where you could either read the ebook or listen to the audiobook or
my son has the one with the green cover.
Here's a question for you guys. If you buy an ebook and you listen to all of it, does it mean to say that you've read that book?
Well, yes,
an audiobook?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell you, I enjoy the audiobooks. I've had Audible for over 10 years, and it's made listening to some of the longer books like William Shire's The Rise and the Fall of the Third Reich, which I don't think I have the patience to sit down with a 600-page book, but I was able to get through it listening to it.
I think if you drive a lot and you put it on and you're driving, you probably, it's a good thing, but it is really tough to read books these days. It really is,
But I will be this evening. I will be when I'm driving down to a show, and I'll come back over the weekend. I used to listen to the radio a lot of the time when I'm driving. Quite a few years ago now. The first time I actually drove all the way over from where I live, just southwest of London on the M4. I drove all the way over to the middle of Norfolk, to Castle Rising in Norfolk, and I had then recently discovered the Great Courses, and I was listening to a series of lectures on medieval England, appropriately for them. I don't think I've had the radio on since. I just listened to that. I'm currently halfway through listening to the latest Big Finish. I know Ian doesn't want a Big Finish.
I don't like Big Finish at all.
That's fine. I can understand that, mate. I don't know, but a lot of what less stuff I'm listening. For example, I'm listening to the latest Star Cops box series, which I quite enjoy. But I agree with you. I mean, I used to listen to audiobooks a lot of the time when I was working on building site, or I was just sitting in the office.
So this is what I'm reading right now. I think Roman might be interested in this. If you've heard of Eric Larson. No. He wrote The Devil in the White City, which was about the H.H. Holmes murders. This is about the events that led to the Civil War over here with the attack on Fort Sumter.
Oh, wow.
So I'm about 100 pages into it right now. I'm enjoying it.
I don't know. I mean, anybody seen any good films lately?
Ian, just not. Ian's like anti-literate now. What's going on?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not that. I find it very difficult to read books. When I was younger, I found it very difficult to read. And my age now, I still find it difficult to read books. You know why? Because when I read a page, halfway down a page, I'm thinking of something else. My mind can't really concentrate on what I'm reading at all. It's the same thing with subtitles on films. By the time I've read the subtitle, halfway through, it's gone. I'm like, well, why is it? I'm so sure. How am I supposed to
What
see what's
happened
going
to
on?
you, man?
No, I don't know. I've always been that way though. But do you know what? Like, the last book I read, I forced myself to read it. So I said to myself, every time I have something to eat or I go to the loo, I'm reading a chapter. So that's how I got through a book. Yeah,
it helps.
No,
It
I've
helps.
been.
yeah,
I think I've gone through 3 books in the last month.
yeah.
Wow. No, I'm terrible. Even my audiobooks, because I'll listen when I'm taking Pippin for a walk. Not always, but often. That's how we got through The Hobbit, and we're on The Fellowship of the Ring now.
Oh my god, that's a long
Spotify
book.
gives you 15 hours a month to listen, so it works out pretty well.
Yeah.
Too bad the book's like 20 something.
Yeah.
I went to see The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes a couple of weeks ago.
Really?
It was all right, actually. It was all right. I enjoyed it.
I haven't seen any of the modern Apes movies except for that terrible one with Mark Wahlberg, which I know isn't connected to this franchise.
It's not.
That's the last Ape movie I saw. So
Likewise.
I'll tell you one thing: the special effects are amazing.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it, and I've heard a few other people who said that. I think I saw the first one in this new series, which was the one that had Tom Felton in it.
Yes.
I think I saw that one.
Is that Dawn of Planet of the Apes, Rise of Planet of the Apes?
I'm not. I couldn't
It was
tell
the first
you.
one.
Of Planet of the Apes.
The first of the new ones. But
there's 4.
From what I've heard,
Yeah,
I believe
4.
it's a trilogy, and this was the 4th one after the trilogy. But I want to. And we talked about it 2 or 3 times on the Rabbi's channel as well. And I want to try and actually watch them because they sound as if they might actually be worth giving a go.
Yeah, this one isn't as good as the last one, but it's enjoyable. It sags in the middle, but there are a lot of things that doesn't work in it for me. But still, it was. I love going to the cinema. I have to force myself to go to the cinema. You know,
There it is.
Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
All hail the bomb.
Yeah,
I loved Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I thought that was so much fun.
You can tell they shaved their hair really there, can't you?
Yeah, but have you ever, I don't know if I have it up here. Let me see if I do have it here.
I must admit, I remember thinking, I think the effects from the 60s films were, especially for their time, they were really, really good. The fact that under all that makeup, you could still see that it was Kim Hunter, and you could still see Roddy McDowall, and it was Roddy McDowall's face as an ape.
Roddy McDowall was pretty cool in those films. Yeah, just what are you showing us, Father?
I'm trying. I'll have to bring it up. I don't have the book with me, but
was this film a closeout, Ian, or is this just another chapter?
No, it's so basically they're leading up to because I don't know if you know the trilogy, the old one where the spacemen arrive. So for instance,
I remember the first one. I remember the Beneath. Then they had like a whole series of movies that got weirder as they went time traveling and such.
So at the ending, they're navigating a spaceship or something like that. At the end, that's how it ends. So I'm assuming there's going to be another one. But
that traveling in space is what's in this comic here.
Star Trek.
That's crazy.
It actually works.
That's a crossover.
It actually works.
Do you hear that they might have a crossover between, if Doctor Who survives, that is Doctor Who and Star Trek?
Oh, they already did that.
That's funny.
No, the new Star Trek on TV.
Dear heavens! In the comic, you've seen the comic version.
Yeah, I've seen the comic book. Yeah.
In name only. Yeah.
Yeah. So brace yourselves.
I don't want to. I
don't care. Michael Burnham meets Nuki, whatever.
Yeah.
I did watch. I finally got around to this. We haven't talked for a long time. I finally watched Picard season 3.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. I know it had faults, but I thought it was a nice closeout to a post next gen thing.
Yeah, generally it was okay.
There were some iffy parts in it, but and the robot Picard thing I thought was stupid and all that stuff, but whatever. But I liked them getting the cast together. I thought they had some nice humor, like they always did, mixed into the dialogue, and I enjoyed it. I was surprised that I enjoyed it, but everyone had been talking about it in a positive way, and I finally found it for free, and so I checked it out, and it was just surprisingly good. And I know that's the guy. Who are they using? they brought that showrunner over, if I'm not mistaken.
Terry
working
Matalas.
He's working on Lanterns. I think,
Yeah.
Yes. The James Gunn Green Lantern.
James
She's
Gunn,
got some other writers that I'm not thrilled with, but I think he was the one that they brought over for that too.
James Gunn's going to mess things up. He really is. I mean, just looking at the teaser picture of Superman putting on his boots.
Oh,
how stupid is that?
No, and we've discussed this quite a bit, and I get that it's not like an official promo, but this is the first shot that Gunn decided to release.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And you made that decision. You chose to do this, knowing that this is kind of an incomplete, AI background picture of the dude probably sitting in the prop room putting on the costume.
But
it's going to garner a reaction, not the kind that you want. I get, being excited, but
I heard something
pull back.
I heard something the other day that proves that James Gunn is a Big Bang Theory fan.
So what?
No, well,
I'm not sure to go with this.
Well, apparently Nathan Fillion is playing the guy of the Green Lantern.
Look, yes, he's playing Guy Gardner.
The casting is bad already. They've got that little guy to play Lex Luthor. Come on, what the hell?
There was a line in an episode of the Big Bang Theory where they're talking about the Green Lantern movie with was it Ryan Reynolds or
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
And he said, and Sheldon turns around and says something along the lines of, "Are you telling me that Ryan Reynolds was a better fit than Nathan Fillion to play the Green Lantern?"
But he's got Nathan Fillion playing the Green Lantern.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
obviously,
in Sheldon's defense, Nathan Fillion did do the voiceovers.
Did he?
In the animated series when they were doing Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just saying it's an interesting. If it is a coincidence, there may be a background connection there.
Gunn is making a mistake, right? Anyone that does Superman knows what Superman is about. Superman is about truth, justice, and the American way.
Yep.
If you do not do that with Superman, you are on your way to having a big flop, right? Everybody knows this is what Superman's all about. You want to put Superman's costume dark. You want to make it look like it's dirty. You want to have a picture of him putting on his boots with nothing connected to Superman. Be my guest, do that, but don't be too surprised if nobody goes to see his film or hardly anyone goes to see his film. Do you know what I mean? Because seriously, how could you not understand Superman?
Yeah, no, that's short. I mean, that picture was a blunder. This movie for Gunn for DC has to succeed. If this movie fails, this is their cornerstone. If this movie fails, they aren't going to make more movies.
It's
the
not going to
fail.
fail.
Is not going to do it.
Yeah, but Roman, it's not going to fail. Basically, what it's going to be is going to annoy a lot of people.
Well,
now, out of curiosity, I'm going to go and see it. I'm pretty sure you're going to go and see it.
I'm not going to go to the theater. I don't care enough. I don't care enough anymore. I'm going to share a dark secret. I'm going to the theater on August 16th to see Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I'm going to go and see that.
I thought that's the only. I won't be going to Dead. I don't go to the theater almost ever. One, because I hate people. Two, because I hate the theater.
So it takes about 3 hours to go to the movies.
Well, I buy my tickets online, and then I ended up paying more because I did that. And then I get to the theater, and then I spend another $40 on a bucket of popcorn and a soda. But the Alien Romulus thing intrigues me. Getting back to the original concepts of what Ridley Scott and James Cameron were doing back in the day. This is what I watched a thing with this director, and this is what he wants to do. So I'm like, oh, please don't suck. Please don't suck. So I'm going to,
but the only thing
I'm going to make myself go.
the only thing that disappoints me with that is that most of them are young people. They're not men. They're not women. Do you know what I mean? They're all young. They all look like they're teenagers.
Not like established, hardworking guys on a space station kind of deal, or like, the crew of Nostromo, where they were all, clearly hardened veterans with the exception of maybe Ripley.
Another thing that bothers me as well is that there's no one that's known in that film. Like, for instance, for the first Alien, you had Tom Skerritt, who was established actor. You had John, Ian. Yeah, sorry, you had Ian Holm. They're all established actors. In this, they're all unknowns. You're like, well, couldn't you not just put someone in there Do you know what I mean? Someone that has a bit of gravitas.
Was it
You
someone
know,
called it?
all
Was it,
these. Yeah, sorry, Archer. Go on.
I say someone called it Alien 90210 or something.
Yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it? It really does.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
No.
I just
I know. It's finding anything good is hard. Not impossible, but it is difficult in the modern era of filmmaking. Like I said, I just don't go almost ever. The last movie I saw in the theater was Top Gun Maverick. Everything else I've just waited for. Everything else I've waited for it to be free or a low cost rental. So I did go to my local used bookstore.
I thought you were going to
And
say
they sell-
Blockbuster.
No, it's funny though. It's funny. I've got one of the please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. You're falling. So I went there and they sell DVDs for $1. So I got Zodiac.
Oh,
And I know Mark Ruffalo is in that, and I hate him, but he's still okay in that. Blood Diamond, which is a fantastic movie if you've
That's
never
a good
seen it.
film.
Not an
Yeah.
upbeat film. Not an
I
upbeat
know.
film. And The Dirty Dozen,
oh,
which
I love
is
that
just
film.
one
Love
of the
that film.
all-time greats. I was so happy because my wife wanted to go in to look at books because she reads. And I'm like, well, they got movies. But what I did find this, and this is going to be kind of interesting for some people. So it's a nearly complete set. I have to say nearly because there are 12 issues to DC versus vampires. And some savage bought 1 through 3 and 12. So it's a nearly complete set, but they're all mint. These have never come out of the package. It's like, why? Who does that? What kind of psychopath does that?
I do.
It was a,
I do.
well,
buy the whole
maybe
set.
they're read
Just
once.
buy the whole set.
Roman, do that again with a Scottish accent.
How is talking about Scottish accent? How is PJ? Has anybody spoken to
Yeah,
him?
Well, I haven't. I mean, we
What on
crossed over a
earth
little
made you
bit.
think of PJ just because I said Scottish accent? And didn't talk to me? I haven't heard from him for a while. I think he was advised to take a lot to take a lot more time offline and to relax.
Well, I saw him in Vegas. I saw him in Vegas in April. So it's been a little bit now.
Yeah.
I mean, he got to the point because
I've been on since then, haven't I? I don't even know if I have. But anyway, so I saw him in Vegas. We had a wonderful time. The poor guy got stuck getting there. He was a day late, and getting out, he was 2 days late. They canceled him. So he was stuck in Vegas, but everybody was gone by that point. So it's not like, ooh, I'm getting extra days in Vegas. He's like, oh, I'm trapped in Vegas. I can't get out. But we did. It was so good to actually get to see him, and we spent most of our time together over the day and a half that we were there. And it was he was a hoot.
The last time I saw
in real life, he's exactly the same.
Yeah, last time I saw him, it was in England when we had the meetup with Gary Nerderotic.
They're having one this weekend down in Dallas, which I wish I could go to, but I think I'll try for next year.
I was there 2
years ago,
3 years ago in Dallas. I really enjoyed it. It was my first one, and I obviously met up with you, Father, and stuff.
Man
so
of War
really
was there, and
Man
just
of
another
War.
red shirt.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet him in person.
It was the British UK one was good as well, and I know Gary keeps complaining that they got kicked out, but unfortunately in England they have these strict rules where if they go beyond, they have to answer to the authorities. So there is a point where they have to kick everybody out.
I was going to say, it looked like you guys had fun recently with the Type 40 group.
Oh yeah, we had a meet up with the Type 40 group. I mean, we're not as big as them, but
I know, but it still looks fun.
It's good. Yeah, a few fans, 2 fans, in fact, we bumped in accidentally, and we were in the church. We were in this because in Lichfield they have this really wonderful cathedral, and we were in the cathedral, and I think Simon was talking to me about Doctor Who, and some guy heard us and he was like, no, that episode's rubbish. We ended up having a bit of a disagreement with this guy in the cathedral about one of the Doctor Who episodes, but it's all good. It's all good.
Matt,
Hey Matt, how are you?
Hey Ian, hi.
Hey,
it's been a while.
Hey, it's been a while, hasn't it? I've been very
Good to
busy.
see you. Yeah, I know.
Good to see you too.
Wait, Matt, you're down.
Down
Are you New
under,
Zealand?
under.
Are you
No.
you're in New Zealand or Australia?
No, yeah,
Antarctica.
I'm Tasmania. It's underneath Australia.
Okay. I have the region. I apologize for getting.
Yeah,
regions
you're
mixed
around the
up.
Asia, Australia, they call it.
Yeah.
I just
That,
call it Australia, but there you
that devil keeps running around in circles and eating stuff. Come here.
Damn Van Diemen.
Started on Tasmanian devil. We have issues because Americans own the rights to the Tasmanian devil.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
we've got to
much
ask for our name back. You know, it's bloody ridiculous. We do.
I gotta ask Ian. I'm trying to bring it up. I see that there's a new Prisoner DVD series coming out or release.
Oh yeah, that's Australian release. Yep.
No, it was available over here too, I believe.
Oh, was it?
Where is it?
Matt, just confuse them. Tell them they should rename it the Van Diemen's Devil.
Is it the original?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's like what is it? The 60th anniversary?
I'm not allowed to call it Van Diemen's Land anymore.
When they
know,
showed
that's
it,
what I
Blu-ray,
mean.
that's what it is.
yeah, and when they showed it on TV,
It's cultural
they had
appropriation.
we had the 4K
From the
version,
Dutch.
which is great.
Yeah. Oh God, don't go on the Dutch.
I can't find it.
Oh,
So we set up and forgiven them for burning Tower Bridge, London Bridge.
London Bridge.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
there it is.
Tell them anything.
Okay, the complete series Blu-ray. That's one article.
Yeah, there's one from
It's coming out
Imprint.
in 2 weeks. There
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Imprint. Is that the Imprint one?
I'm bringing it up.
Because there's one with the whole kit and caboodle. It's got documentaries and all that in it.
Yeah, that's the one I think. It's like $120.
Wow.
No, that's a different one. Oh, it is that. That's it. That is it. Yeah, that's Imprint. Yep, they're really good.
It's the only time I've ever been scared of a big balloon.
Oh yeah. Floppy
And
big
there's the
balloons,
Australian commercial in the background.
Yeah.
Little
Australia.
Dingo trying to tell us to come visit.
Yeah, get lost very easily. Our tour guides will
take a
leave
day.
you where you are.
Just bring an extremely big bucket of
Come to the
bucket
Great
tank.
Keppel Island and never be
Talk-
seen again.
Talking about Australia, I watched Crocodile Dundee 2 a couple of days ago. Do you know what? It's not that bad. The film is not that bad.
I didn't even laugh once. in
talking
that
about
one.
Australia.
Well, it was a different movie.
I'll
right? It
swap
was
my hat
different.
for a crocodile skin one, shall I? With the teeth and everything.
It was all right. It
Croaky,
wasn't that
mate.
bad.
Croaky.
It
Just
wasn't
be
that
real,
bad.
Australia. You got no
I
corpse
don't
on
think
your
I've seen that in
Far out.
30 years.
You know what? It took us years to get over that. So why are you bringing it up?
It was all right. I kind of enjoyed it.
Bloody Paul Hogan. Jeez.
He's pretty amazing chap, right?
He
gotta
was funny
admit.
back in the day before
Yeah.
he was Crocodile
Crocodile
Dundee.
Dundee,
If
yeah.
you watch all those earlier,
Yeah.
that was just hilarious.
But I tell you what's amazing about him. He got invited to host the Oscars, and he went on. He had no script whatsoever.
Yep.
and he just free.
And he called him. He said, "Oh, hello, viewers," and like everybody was
Yeah.
like, "What's he saying?" You know.
Yeah. He was
But
funny.
that's what
though.
he used to say all the time.
Yeah, he's funny.
G'day,
though.
viewers.
He's quite funny, and he made them
Yeah.
laugh. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was a
Pretty
big
brave
deal when
as
he
well.
was on there because
Yeah,
we
it
didn't
was.
have anyone. Not even. I don't think even Mel Gibson was big back then.
No.
I was going to say, it's like, I'm just thinking of Eurovision, and it's kind of like how ABBA is now what comes to mind when you think of Sweden.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's me
Alright.
going.
Oh, did you know we were in Eurovision and we're not even part of Europe?
There's Israel.
And
Israel's been in
to-
Eurovision. for
as a
years.
bonus, we sent a trans.
Yeah,
singer.
I know.
Trans crossed with an Aboriginal. There you go.
Oh,
We're in there. We're going to be
Matt?
just like Miss Alabama.
I was just going to say, look up Miss Alabama.
I saw that tonight, and I was like,
Oh,
"How big is her back?
that's
Her
no
back
movie.
looks like it's got an abscess or something on it. It's really.
Why did she win? By the way,
I don't know.
She's
Why
not
did she
pretty.
win?
Yeah, her face is.
At least it's a
you would-
she.
You would
Because they
think
were
that-
big Star Wars fans and they loved Jabba the Hutt.
Wonga.
But you know,
Okay.
she hasn't even got a pretty face. Her face is not pretty at all. It's
Well, I
just
mean,
horrible.
No. This is just another example of what we were talking about before when we were talking about Doctor Who and Star Wars. This is it's another institution that they want to be rid of, or damage so badly that no one cares about it anymore. Body positivity is fantastic. No, it's not. It's not. You need to go to a doctor because you're going to die 30 years earlier than you might otherwise. And I'm not giving up another plane seat for you. I'm sorry about that.
There's very few places now that actually have beauty contests. Like
Well,
we
they don't
used to
use
have
the term
a
without
Miss Bloody
patents.
Tasmania for God's
Good.
sake, and they had to take they got rid of that because
I'm on the
They
Nerd
don't want
Fighter
ideals.
stream, I'm on the Nerd
Well,
Fighter stream. Don't say what I think I was going to say. Don't use the second word that follows G. I'm on the Nerd Fighter stream. I mustn't be rude back.
I'd hate to see what they're up to now, though. Who the contestants were? Jeez.
Yeah.
And
Australia. Oh my
that's-
God.
Okay,
that's
this
why you
is
get
the
rid of it.
runner-up.
That was the runner-up.
That was the runner-up.
Why didn't she win?
It's a man, baby.
Oh, is that a man?
There is a dude in this.
Well, it's
No,
short
on
for
stage.
Austin Powers, isn't it?
Oh, right.
It's not even a joke though. There are 5 people on stage in one of the pictures. One of them is the enormous Miss Alabama, or
Wow, she's
Alabama?
lovely.
Whatever.
That one.
But then there's
They
a
had to open up
dude.
her back of her
Well,
dress.
it's
Just
the
back.
giant lady, a dude, and then 3 ladies. Any one of whom would be better than the choice.
But I don't understand this. Right? It's so
Her arms look like T-Rex, for God's sake. Look at
But it's I don't understand. It's so blatantly obvious that she is not pretty at all, and she's a horrible role model for people,
Yes.
for girls. So I don't understand the logic behind this. Why has she won?
And the weird thing is, like, when you see that the outfits that she tries to wear, and that stomach overhang is just it's a real put off. What is beauty now? Are they just doing the inner beauty? This should be the inner beauty contest. You know,
That'd be like think about back to Arnold Schwarzenegger's bodybuilding days. If you had a strange toothpick of a man on stage winning for the bodybuilding instead of Schwarzenegger, it's a similar dynamic. Except no one would have done that back then because the world hadn't lost its collective mind yet. In modern era, they need to destroy the ideals. Captain America, Superman, these, the male ideas of physical form and the female ideals of physical form, the beautiful woman with good lines. She has no lines unless you just make a circumference. That's the line she has.
But they can't destroy it unless we let them. We have to fight to
yeah, but it's very hard when your own government is trying to silence you.
Oh, tell me about
Ian.
it.
And my government is trying to silence us all.
Yeah, but
they're actually trying to bring in age limits for social media.
Yeah,
now.
but what else is new? Every war you fight, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's always someone that's stronger than but usually good always wins overall in history. If you look back in history, good always wins. So here's hoping.
Doesn't Dark Helmet said evil always wins because good is stupid?
Yeah. Well, there was a semi-expat colleague of yours, Matt, Sidney Watson, dropped a video a few days ago about fat acceptance and the body positivity thing. And apparently, a lot of there's a lot of complaints. A lot of people who were previously fat acceptance positive YouTubers have now all actually regained their sanity.
Well,
and irritating a lot of current body positives by saying no, you can't be fat at any time. So maybe that's changing as well.
You see that interview? I can't remember the guy's name. He's black and he's I think he's from South Africa. He interviews loads of big stars, and he was talking to that woman from The Acolyte, and the woman from The Acolyte said that we want to upset white people. Now the question is, right? Why does she get a pass? That's a very racist thing to say. Why do those two get a pass on that? If it was a white person saying that, you would never hear the end.
Because they're in a liberal bubble, media bubble, and that's it'll never ever change. It'll never ever change.
It will change.
Something
if we
horrible.
fight.
No, something really drastic has to happen to that liberal media bubble before it will change. And unfortunately, they're not letting anyone that's an outsider in. Do you think that they would have Gary Beagler do an interview with the acolyte actress? You know, come on. Do you remember? I remember once. This is when was the Fantastic Four movie? The last one that was 2015, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was that
They
just
actually
fantastic?
Yeah, that was the one with the black Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
And when they actually had an interviewer there, well, they had several, and they said, "How can he be your brother? He's black," to Susan Storm. And they got the actors got really, really upset because how dare you ask that question? They just don't want that sort of thing in their bubble. They just want fart smoke in that bubble. They just want to smell it. What they're used to.
There's got to be someone brave in Hollywood that will basically say, right, I'm not taking this crap.
No, they're all
form
scared.
my own production company. And you know what? Money always leaps over bridges and all the problems. As long as you make a crap load of money, make a film that makes a crap load of money, I'm pretty sure that people will gravitate towards them. All it takes is just one.
They do that. Top Gun Maverick. I have to throw that one out there because that was kind of that's the last movie that they've made like that. Since then, you would think, Top Gun Maverick made a ton of money because it had all the basic structures, good story, the hero,
Jennifer Connelly.
None of the woke BS. Yet they had that. Boom, plant the flag, movie does well. What's come out since then, though?
No. That's different. Roman, that's different because Tom Cruise did that in the sphere of those people, right? So basically, he was in that bubble. What I'm talking about is someone that actually comes out of that, create their own Hollywood. And I'm telling you, if they start making films that people want to see, and they start making a load of money, like Angel Studios,
they're hacking away, but that's like Rumble versus YouTube.
No, they've just
Rumble's
started.
out there, but no one really watches it.
No, Roman.
But Rumble's limited in that they don't have apps for all the various. I watch Netflix and all that on PlayStation. They don't. Rumble doesn't have an app for that.
Yeah, but Matt,
they don't.
In the big scheme of things, they've just started. So if you support Rumble, if people like us support that kind of thing, it's going to grow. And that's
they have a mobile app. That's the weird thing. They have a mobile app. They haven't extended it to
stand strong. And anytime you get the chance to say how bad they are, you have to say how bad they are.
But the problem also is that with the Hollywood thing is that they not only got to make the films, they've got to get them distributed as well.
Yeah, but success is the thing. So
but you've got to get it distributed to get it successful.
You don't need to get it distributed anymore because there are places you can go. Like
this is true.
Netflix is buying everything from right. They're buying the right stuff to the left stuff. They're buying it, but Netflix is buying everything. Netflix is Hollywood now. Do you guys
have Hulu over there?
No. They've mixed it in with Disney Plus here.
Okay.
So, but it's not. There's no mention of Hulu whatsoever. So it actually goes under the Stars.
Oh, Stars.
They have a Stars channel. It goes under that one. So the Orville and all that goes under Stars because it's adult content.
Yeah, it's for, as I said, if you have to lie to put out your stuff there and it's failing, then there must be something wrong.
I was just going to say it's kind of like when I say yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're right. I recently watched on Disney Plus. I don't like I said. I've been watching it for. I only kept it for Doctor Who, but some of the anime that they had on there, like I recently watched and really thoroughly enjoyed Sandland for like 10 weeks, and I was savoring it for just looking forward to it every week, and I thought why this is so good. because Disney had nothing to do with it. They've just bought it and
Yeah.
put it on there. And now I've heard that Disney are going, gee, this anime is popular that we've got on our channel. Maybe we should get into that.
Do you know?
And then you just go, well, that's the death of that, you know?
You know, John Lasseter. So he
Yep.
was in charge of Pixar. He basically they obviously ousted him out, and now he's formed his own
Yes.
company, and all the people
Pete
working for
Docter did
Disney. Yeah, all the people working for Disney are actually going to his company now, so they're all
Yep.
leaving Disney.
But you know what? I have a bit of an inside information, but I shouldn't say. I'm not saying who it was, but when I've done work for people who worked at Pixar, and when I, because Pixar was like was just absolutely the bee's knees,
Yeah.
10 years
Glad
ago or
you caught
whatever.
yourself on that one.
And yes, thank you. You picked up on that.
I
And
don't
so
have the church lady
anyway,
queued up.
Pixar. No, thank you. I always learn on your channel, Father. But no. So anyway, Pixar was like the absolute bee's knees. And this guy, I was like, "Oh, you're working on this movie, and what's this secret project you're working on, and all this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm actually leaving Pixar and going to do teaching." And I was like, "Why would you do that?"
More money.
And this guy had worked on, massive movies, and like Toy Story and all that, and I'm like, why would you do that? Because it's just like the thing. And he had the inside story on the problems that they had with too many cooks that had other ideas for, we can implement this sort of structure in our movies.
Disney.
And
That's
yeah.
Disney. Mm.
yeah, well, it wasn't owned by Disney. I don't think it was quite. Did they own it when Little Dinosaur was coming out? Or is it Little Dinosaur? What's the dinosaur one that really flopped? The Last Dinosaur?
I don't know. Did Pixar do that?
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
That's the reason why it flopped, because that was actually their first major. That was their first major big bomb, and I think they knew that, and that's the reason why they wouldn't release it. But Disney forced them to release it, and they knew that it wasn't going to perform very well, and that was pretty much the beginning of the end.
Oh, well,
they had if you remember, they had a certain amount of movies that they had to create, and for Disney, when they were sort of subcontracting for Disney.
Disney destroyed every company that it's actually brought.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
they had a movie deal for like, I think 8 movies or something like that. And they were just waiting for that to just roll out the movies so that they could finish it up with the contract with Disney and move on to other things. But Disney had other ideas, didn't they?
People have got to stand up for these people. They really have to stand up. Someone
it's all money.
Has to.
It's all the money,
Yeah,
Just,
they have to. Otherwise, otherwise entertainment is just going to be destroyed.
Well, this is the problem, see, because I mean, the Australian government just took Elon Musk to court. Like I said, trying to snuff out, X. They were trying to make him take videos down and all this, and Elon Musk took him to court, and guess who won? Elon Musk. So, but it's funny because the people that are actually working for the government now are his ex-employees from X that he actually booted out. So they've got a bit of a gripe.
Oh well,
I don't
never
know if this is
mind.
showing up as well.
What's this?
Oops. Why is that thing showing? Let me reload it.
Oh, I don't know. There's nothing to watch on TV these days. Absolutely nothing to watch. What are you laughing at? I can't even read it. It's so small.
Oh, right.
Really.
Yeah,
I'll put it in the chat.
Mm.
I'll put it in the. There it is.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the other one.
Yes.
No one's coming. We're going to
Disney
die
100%.
Well, first of all, I don't know. Two men on an island on their own is pretty problematic.
I think one of them's a woman, isn't it?
No, I was going to say, man and a woman on an island is problematic. 2 men's fine.
Yeah, put a pig on there as well.
Oh.
Do you know what? Right, this week I've been
Here we
looking
go.
for an agent, okay, and I've gone to websites, and every person they listed in their company said
Yeah.
he, him, she, him, he, and I'm like, what is going on? And what's going on? So this is what we have to put up with, I guess.
I used to collect Harvey comics, and they actually had to draw Caspar, and I remember I was only about 10. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And that was the first time I ever come across. It was like when I got to the end of it, it said, dear friends, my look is copyrighted by Harvey Comics. If you try to sell any of these images of me when you draw me, and I'm like, what's this all about? You know?
Yeah.
And that was way back in the 80s.
So Disney owns half of Mickey Mouse now, right? The other
I
half
thought,
is free.
yeah, the copyright part.
No.
They said in the next few years, Superman's going to be entering public domain.
Yeah, 100.
Only the first one.
Is it 100 years? 100 years, is it? And then
I think so, yeah.
Open season. So, but yeah, Superman.
I got the Superman animated series from the 1960s, and I got the DVDs. And when I went to watch them, I'm like waiting there for the Superboy episodes, and they cut them out.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what? And yeah, Superboy and his dog Crypto, they cut them all out, and you can't get them separately or anything because of a rights issue or whatever.
Superboy was probably my favourite DC character, and I read him in the 60s.
Yeah, well, that was the one thing I really hated with that reboot.
Not anymore. Not
no,
anymore.
because they were going to change Superboy into a Supergirl, weren't they?
It's not anymore.
Well, what they've done with him now is far worse than that.
Exactly.
Well, what have they done with him?
Superboy kissing a boy.
Right.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's Super G. Yeah, he's.
Oh no!
So far, if I remember right, that is. Is this a new?
That's right. He's not right in the head. He's a clone.
No, it's just the one that Jonathan Kent's. Jonathan Kent, Superboy's grandson or something. They did that a few years ago, didn't they? I think.
It is.
I couldn't believe who they cast as the Kents in that new movie.
I know.
That was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
Have you seen that, guys? Who they cast as
Pa Kent.
Pa Kent.
Yeah.
It's the guy from The Mentalist, the big, fat, horrible, ugly guy.
Yeah, the guy with the funny eyes.
Yeah, I can't believe they cast that guy as Pa Kent.
They've got to have a certain type, I guess.
What the hell is going on in this world?
Can we have a black mother, Ma Kent?
Well, they were going to do that. They were going to do it, you know that, don't you? Because the theory is that he was adopted, so it didn't really matter what color the parents were. And they were actually going to do that, but somebody vetoed it. That's what I heard. But you should see this guy that they cast as Pa Kent. Yeah. My God, why? Why? I mean, he's a good actor and all that, but why? What are they saying here? It's just incredible. It really is.
Oh, and I thought what's his name was bad as Pa Kent.
Who's that?
Was it Dances with Wolves? That one.
Kevin Costner.
Oh, that was just so bad. I don't like Man of Steel at all. Sorry.
No.
Tornado's coming. I'm gonna die. Just stay there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Tweet Taylor Vince.
And
is that the guy?
Yeah.
Bald and.
It just goes to show that James Gunn does not know. Not James Gunn. Zach did not know anything about superheroes at all when he took on the DC universe. He didn't know. I have a lot of people that know him that says he did not know. He didn't read the comics at all.
They tried to pull off Henry Cavill as a teenager, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I know.
It's crazy.
No, I know, it's stupid. It's really stupid. It's just. I did the best thing about that film was the bit where he was a kid and he was trying to control his powers. I thought more of that, please, more of that. But they didn't give us more of that. They gave us more rubbish.
If I remember right, I mean, because I was oddly enough, I mean the Lotus Eaters dropped another comics corner recently. That was all about the Crisis on Infinite Earths when they first tried to actually get rid of all the mess of Return ones. And I remember, as I said, growing up, my favourites was Superboy. That's the one. Was Superboy in the Legion of Superheroes.
Yes.
And after
There was a great cartoon with that
it was-
too.
yeah, after I dropped out of reading comics, apparently I heard that DC actually just got rid of the entire thing by making it a trap for the time travel someone. So they literally said, okay, actually, no, the whole thing, the last 20 years of Superboy stories weren't actually real.
Well,
Like
that's one of the problems.
Bobby
with
in the
DC
shower.
general, that they
Yeah.
reboot, they reboot, they reboot,
Yeah.
they reboot, and I actually don't know where in continuity DC is right now. Who's who post Rebirth, after the New 52, and all the muddled timeline since then. I have no idea what's going on.
It seems
But
like
if
they
I
moved
buy
on to
something-
his.
Hmm.
They seem to move on to his gay son now.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. Well, at least there's that.
See, I
mean, I think
haven't
that-
read a comic in 20 years.
Nor have I.
Well, they did
More
it.
so.
The last stuff I read was Darwin Cook, and that was it.
Well, they also did it with apparently. Again, a lot of this I know from watching other people, wasn't because I haven't read comics myself for a while. But they did it with one of the Robins, Tim Drake.
Yeah, Tim Drake.
And after 25 years, they suddenly turned him gay overnight.
No, yeah. So yes, they did. It's all part of the same thing. We've been talking
Yeah.
about the same thing in every one of these instances.
Yeah.
It's all rubbish.
And he was in a relationship with the that girl in the purple cloak. I'm trying to remember
Stephanie
her name.
something.
No, I'm just trying to remember her code name.
Like,
But,
they
yeah,
did
no,
mention that, but I forgot it.
Was she hot?
She was a teenager, dude.
Was she hot? Was she hot? That's
Oh,
the
I
question.
think she was of a mixed race.
Oh, right. She isn't.
Oh,
She isn't
dear
hot then.
Lord.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
That thing.
What the?
Oh my
DC
god!
Oh.
Pride. DC Pride.
I know I'm putting the Lord's name in vain, but oh,
Father Miller, are you trying to make us summon up the church lady?
No.
Are you trying to get a reaction from us when you summon up the church lady?
Well, you missed
I
it
miss,
earlier.
I miss
I have-
seeing,
I
Green
have this on the
Lantern
standby.
Corps and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
It is. It is
Man,
Oh.
pretty bad, isn't it? It
Oof.
really is bad. Everything
Woof.
that's happening, it's bad.
I'd hate to see a comics rack now. All the
Yeah.
different covers
I
and what
haven't
the
been in a
covers would
comic
look like. They have
store-
like a giant rainbow.
'Cause
9 months, I think it's been since I've been to a comic store.
Well,
Oh, no, that's
Wow.
not true. Justin, who's been on here, Ian knows him. I think Roman, you've been streamed with Justin before.
Yeah.
The last comic I bought was the For Your Eyes Only Marvel special.
Marvel's.
I got that. I got that at Justin's comic store. That's
Yeah,
the
but that's
last
an
comic I bought.
that was an old issue,
I know,
wasn't it?
I know, but that's the last time I.
I'm
actually
just
walked
saying
into
you're
a
not going to
comic
find
store.
you're not going to find Live and Let Die.
I think-
Here's a comics book.
They
a
haven't.
reprint.
They haven't got any comic stores. That the only comic store that I know, which I don't even bother when I go in there, is Forbidden Planet. Forbidden Planet is a mixture between models and toys and stuff. And then downstairs they got the book section and the comic section. It's a huge section. But when I go to Forbidden Planet, I don't even go downstairs because it's no point. Those comics, the comics of today is awful.
Well, some-
Absolutely.
So
awful.
it's like I.
Well, it's the
visited
people
Midtown
also selling the
Comics.
comics too. You know, if you see those people that are most of the people behind the counters now, they're just as,
I went to Midtown Comics in the heart of New York City last summer for the first time. Always wanted to go, and I was greatly disappointed.
Why?
I mean, well, it's all the new stuff.
Oh,
There was hardly anything prior to maybe 2010.
Someone was saying on a stream recently, I can't remember what it was, they went into, they got 2 comic books.
What's
Sorry,
that?
That's someone's been, I've got window open. They said they've got 2 comic books. One of them is a satellite of Forbidden Planet, and one's another one. The non-Forbidden Planet one is just covered with gay this, gay that, alphabet, the rest. The Forbidden Planet, their Western comic section, not DC, not Marvel, their Western comic section is pretty much one comic rack. All the rest is anime and the like, where they got the comics, and the rest of it is Funko Pops and all the rest of it.
Yeah, Funko Pops is pretty
well,
popular.
that's what's
isn't it?
selling. You know,
Yeah.
that's what's selling. The
Yeah.
comics aren't selling. This is the
No.
thing, and so.
Mm,
Yeah.
it
I mean,
is
I
not-
remember going to the last time I went to a comic shop. It's probably about 5-6 years ago, and I was actually the only one in it.
Do you know what, right? This generation likes to say, oh, you live in the old days. Oh, yeah, Star Wars, this, that, the other. But, you know, I remember when my dad, when I was young and my dad used to say, oh, in my day, and I used to think, oh, bollocks. But you know what, right? now I'm his age, and I think about the past. I can honestly, truly say, hand on heart, that the past is so much better than what we have now. And I'm not saying, you know, everything is better in the past, but the core of what we believed in and the core of entertainment was so much better than what we're getting now. You know,
I gotta say, I did buy this series when it came out, and unlike the comic here, mine's a 9.8. So I mean, I bought this stupid comic back in 2018 for like $4. I ran into a bookstore. They had the 5th issue selling for $150.
Wow.
I had the first 23.
Well, I know you're saying it. I'm thinking going way back when I was a kid. My heroes, one of my main sets of my heroes, went around saving people's lives.
Exactly.
They were puppets. They were brothers who lived on an island.
I'd be actually interested. I'd be actually interested in what Frederick Wertham would actually say today, if you know who that guy was.
No,
that was the guy that wrote that very controversial book in the 1940s or 50s that said that comics were pretty much, you know, the reason for delinquency.
The one that led to the comic trials.
Right.
Yeah. And the death of Tales from the Crypt and that. Yeah, the Tales from the Crypt and all that. That's the reason why EC Comics went under.
So was that the one that led to the Comics Code and the rest of it?
Yeah, what was the name of the book, Father? He made a very famous book.
Oh, I don't remember what it was called, but this is one of the samples that I got, but it's not very big. This stupid little thing is $20.
Seduction of the Innocent was the name of the book.
That's it.
And it actually it almost caused the death. Well, that's the reason why we hit another age of comics, because that's the reason why they created the Comics Code Authority.
Right.
That's the reason why Marvel came back.
That apparently was also interesting. I picked up on the comics country. Apparently, that in part led into why authors actually got the names on comics, because they didn't used to put the author's name, or DC didn't used to put the author's names on comics. But they had an author called Marv Wolfman, and he wrote something, and I think they were saying, I can't remember exactly, but he was writing something, and because they wanted a character who was called a Wolfman or something, they had to put Marv, but they got around the fact they couldn't use werewolves by putting Marv Wolfman's name on the comic, because that was his name and he was writing about wolves. And because of that, other authors started getting the names on comics. I can't remember exactly, because they're talking about it on comics, weird little things like that.
I'm totally convinced our day was better than what's happening now.
Well,
movies and everything. Everything.
This is one of the things that
food, everything.
Start talking about racism.
The problem was with those sort of books was the fact that if they didn't go very well, like if they even had a limited series or whatever, if it didn't even sell, they'd cut the limited series. It wouldn't even finish.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays they'll go. They don't want to stop the line, because therefore it makes them look like that they're defeated and that that they were right.
They'll go on as the ship is burning and sinking into the sea. They will continue to push that bad storyline,
and in that way they're burning money as well.
They don't care about that.
The money.
Not important to them anymore.
It's not their money. No,
it's a BlackRock, isn't it? BlackRock is the one that's fueling this rubbish that's going across our world. But is it China that's not having any of it? Maybe we should all move to China.
There seriously should be a law that no books should be banned. Seriously, because it's just getting to that point now where
there are certain ones they would say.
It's lucky Henry It's lucky Henry Jones's book
But they'll
didn't
have
get
the
burned,
Rainbow
innit?
Brigade one in there, won't they? It's like, oh, my two dads. What the
Oh
hell?
yeah, my two
Did-
mothers in the Acolyte. Yeah,
I was
yeah,
going to
yeah.
say, did anybody else notice that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed it.
Mr. and Mr. Santa.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently, was it-
Claus.
yes, it was because you were Mr. Browns, weren't you, Ian? It was. What's it
Yes.
saying? What
Yeah,
they
yeah.
think the
Yeah.
next episode apparently is all about.
Well, the third episode is going to destroy. Basically, what they're going to say is that, what I've heard anyway, is that the Jedi's were formed by gay people. So there you go. Good luck with that, everybody. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. I know whatever episode 3 is. They're planning on having a fan backlash, which is probably why
Force is
episode 3
gender
was
fluid,
written
isn't
the way
it?
it was. So
Apparently.
it's like
Probably.
everybody's just kind of bracing for impact on that. You can only be so outraged about the where it's all going at this point because it's so
What
stupid.
is this? What
My
is this?
consider
Oh
me
my
quoting Natalie
Lord.
Portman from the first Thor movie.
What?
I'm going to take it
Who's
off before
selling this book?
profanities are used.
Who's
It's
selling
on Amazon.
Why?
Of course it is.
A man cannot have a baby. I'm sorry. That is just not possible.
Oh, you got to be careful what you say, Ian.
Why?
I'm not monetized, so
Yeah.
A man cannot have a baby. It's like
No,
like when
it's-
I'm
it's
on. Sorry, go ahead.
It's you can do it if you're born a woman. I'm just saying.
It's like when I'm on Brown's channel and he goes they them or if he's talking about a guy that's pretending to be a woman, he'd say she, and I have to pull him up on that. I'm saying, what are you saying? Why are you calling this a she?
Because
when it's
he's
a he?
monetized.
I don't think he's monetized somehow.
Oh,
But,
wouldn't surprise me.
But I just when I'm on Dan's channel and they're talking about Jinx Monsoon and he always referred to him as a she, I always want to shake Dan and say, don't you realize what you're confirming what these mad people are doing? Do you know what I mean?
The
Idiot.
problem
Thing is, that's what they're trying to do. It's called gender confusion,
they're
and they're trying to confuse us.
they're deliberately conflating everything. I mean, I know someone who is I don't know, as far as I only know one person, but I'm odd this, but who is currently in the process of doing the level best to become a male. They were born female. No, but as in, I understand your point of view that far, and but they are doing the whole lot. I mean, if they, as I said, as a science fiction fan, I came up and said, okay, so if it was possible, would you walk into a booth, come out the other side of that booth as a fully functioning, perfectly normal, ordinary member of the opposite gender? If the answer to that is yes, okay, fine. I hope you live the best life you can. What they're conflating with someone like that who has got whatever it is that causes that within the mind, they're conflating that with, as I say, that's vastly different from some guy putting on a frock who's still got a beard. And
Let me make this clear, right? Let me make this clear, right? I am all for diversity, definitely, right? If it's done properly. I really don't care if a male wants to be a female and a female wants to be a male. What I do care about is if my will, or I have to conform to what they want me to conform to. That's where I draw the line. That I can't respect a pronoun. Respect is earned. Do you know what I mean? It's not given freely, it's earned. So if somebody comes up to me and say, respect my pronoun, I'm going to tell them where to go, because that makes no sense to me.
Ian, remember when they used to put people who thought they were Napoleon into mental institutions?
Exactly.
And they just thought they were Napoleon. That's pretty minor compared to today's mass psychosis. You want us to participate in your mental disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, with that,
Well, that's the problem, see, because they don't. They need to really reinstate. I mean, they have mental wards for people who are going to do harm to themselves or other people.
Or
but that's the only reason why they keep them. They don't keep them for their own mental states anymore. And this is the problem: is the fact that you don't. When I went to America, that's the reason why. When I was in America, I was shocked. On the streets of Los Angeles, where most of the people there were all the homeless were talking to themselves and very schizophrenic, and you just think you should be somewhere safe, and they're not. They're out and about. And there was a lady the other day. I literally just watched a news report about a lady, a black lady that was walking through a supermarket, and she had a knife walking in her hand, and no one even noticed the knife, and she just walked up and stabbed a 3-year-old and killed the 3-year-old and also stabbed the mother. And you just go, why is this woman allowed to go in and steal a knife? Shouldn't it be behind closed, glass doors or something so they can't get
I'd just
to it?
like to say, Roman, I want some of that pizza. So
I think it might be a case of McDonald's burger on the way.
Just wanted to play a palate cleanser because I got to get running. I have a thing in about 40 minutes, but something from when Star Wars was good, even animated.
Yep, this is it. Corner of Tatooine Way and Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Hi, Artu. You want to come play?
Sure. There I am on Tatooine, jumping double dutch like you never seen. I know my way around a rope.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
I always liked the one where they went into warp and it was Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So with that, anything to plug, anybody?
Just
I have a channel.
Yeah. But Matt has a channel. Roman has a channel. I don't know if
I'm just about to do another video.
I don't.
Okay. I just like to say the Rebecca Gold channel. Just go and visit it. You'll have some fun.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. There you go.
We're on every Thursday at 5 Pacific Standard over on.
When we're asleep. When we're asleep, Roman.
Control you people in your strange ways and mystical lands.
Excuse me. There's a reason why Zulu is GMT. We invented it. We invented time. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. With that, I got to run. So I thank you guys. Good to see you, Matt. It's been too long.
Yeah. Nice to see you, Father. Yep.
And we'll do it again next week if you're able to join. So with that, I'm trying to do the be seen you thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't have it down perfect, but
Good night,
with that,
folks.
we're hitting the end. So.